I'm not paid to be a role model. I'm paid to wreak havoc on the basketball court.
There's the pass to Leitner. Puts it up. Yes! Is it the shoes?
I was going to rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been.
One of the world's most talented athletes is retiring. It is true what somebody said today. There was Babe Ruth and Muhammad Ali and Michael Jordan and Wayne Gretzky.
Gretzky in front. Saved by Flaherty. The rebound. Score!
Favre just threw it perfectly right over him to Corey Bradford. Only Brett Favre could do that. I don't care what you say.
This is WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Game on! Game on!
Happy July 4th weekend, everybody, and welcome to the Monday edition of WHPC Sports Talk here on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Thank you for taking time out your holiday weekend to spend time with the crew. Listen to us get sports takes off. I'm your host for today, Joshua Umahi, joined by star-studded crew. Ross Levine, how are we doing?
I'm doing good. The Knicks are making some moves. I like it.
Some little slight moves, but yeah. I guess we like what we see so far. Devin O'Shea, how we doing?
Doing well. Woke up early this morning for the morning show.
No, he did
and then fell asleep.
I hate to judge, but he did the morning show on a holiday weekend.
Yeah.
Woke up early.
That's tough. I woke up early.
It's the grind.
I got home, passed out.
I bet you did. It was a good show?
Oh, yeah, it was a good show.
All right. Jake Boyko, how are we doing today?
Been better, been worse. I mean, my Yankees suck, but at least the Knicks, they're kind of upping my mood a little bit, making some moves here, but that's about it. Yankees have to play better, and yeah.
Nah, I definitely agree with that. Yankees, it's funny with them because, they're 8 games over 500 still, but look at how...
But, are they really?
Yeah, and what's the deal with Aaron Judge? Is he going to be back? What's really going on? I feel like they're not really being straight up with everybody.
Because that record just keep dropping and dropping with Judge being out for this long.
I mean, if they're losing 2 out of 3 to the Cardinals and taking 2 out of 3 from the A's, yeah.
Yeah, very inconsistent. Well, both local teams is extremely inconsistent. We'll see what happens with that. Well, 516-572-7440. That is the number to dial to join us. 516-905-WHPC. That is the number to text us. We got one more person to introduce. We got Nick Ornberger in the house. Nick, how are we doing today?
I was not too good. I wasn't allowed in the doors. I had to ring 3 times. I'm very upset today. I'm kidding.
They didn't let you in the door?
They wouldn't let me in the door. I'm a little. What do you call that? A little edgy today.
A little edgy.
That's
you know what? I am too. All hell breaks loose when Novak misses.
Yeah, right.
With that being said, let's get started with the, as usual, the New York Mets. Let's just get to it. They had a weekend series against the San Francisco Giants, and wouldn't you know, they got their first series win since June 1st.
That's crazy.
Clap it up for the New York Mets, baby. They did it.
We won a series.
Let's get it.
Do they get a ring now?
Season turns around now. It's like, I'm playing. We'll see, though.
We beat Conforto and Davis.
Yes, former Mets. We beat them. Hang the banner for real. Let's just recap the series starting with Friday. The Giants beat the Mets 5-4. What is that?
What is going on with my phone right now? I have no idea.
Oh, man. I was like, is that what you got going on over there,
Nick? I just decided, hey, we're listening to music right now.
I thought Josh should put some background music on.
Yeah, I'm like...
I thought it was like a Call of Duty lobby or something like that.
Right? Oh, my God, it did sound like that.
Yeah.
Where was I? I don't even remember. Oh, yeah, on Friday. David Robertson and the Mets, well... This was kind of the most Mets loss ever because you had, a 4-2 lead. Everything's looking pretty good in the 8th inning, but you had a throwing error by Pete Alonso, and then you had a walk, and then before you know it, it's 5-4 Giants, and they lost the game. So
is that why he DH'd yesterday?
Alonso?
Because of the error?
Probably. Ain't gonna cost us another game.
I don't know who in this our chat. Tweeted this out, or chatted, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm older than you all, don't worry about me. Tweeted this out, but I don't know if I've seen a team lose pace in a standing race this quickly over a month. I spent time
That's
with
June.
Braden saying, what did I say? I said, wait till the end of June. Could you please calm down?
Oh, man.
And June, they went back 15 games. This team is it's a weird team to watch.
Oh man, weird is an
Atrocious.
understatement for real. Like,
The real question is, though, are they going to be back 30 by the time August rolls around?
You
There's
know
a
what?
chance.
Might be.
There's a chance.
Knowing this team, they'll have a hot streak, and then they'll be like, do we buy or do we sell?
I mean,
The problem is they have nothing to sell to buy. so-
Exactly.
right. I mean, Tommy Pham should get them a nice prospect, but that's really.
That's what, for like 2025? 2026?
Yeah, I mean,
what
you're
are
right.
you going to get?
You're right. You're absolutely right. I mean, that's what we're looking at, though. The Mets is just. It's weird because they were constructed, especially following up that 101 win team last year. I'm not even going to bring up the payroll. I'm not going to do it today. But we know how this team was built, and we know why this team was built to win a championship. And you look at it, they were middling the first 2 months. Like, they started off well, and then they had that nightmare stretch in April and May. But you're looking at June, and I remember saying, like, yo, June is the time for this team. If they want to turn their season around, they got to do it right here. Look at the schedule. It's not a lot of, exact opposite. Like, it was a lot of winnable games, but as it turns out, as far as the Mets were concerned, there was a lot of losable games, too.
Yeah, amount of one-run games there was that, like, I was on the verge of tears. Like, so many one-run games that we keep losing, and it's atrocious. It's amazing how we keep losing these one-run games.
And it's like they keep setting new lows in doing so, too, because I just brought up Friday's game, and, like, bro, really? Like, an error and a walk and then a home run, and then you lost the game? That's it?
I'm not going to lie. I was not even that heartbroken by that loss because I kind of saw it coming. Once Alonso made that error, it was just, you kind of saw it, but that's the way the season's been. But I actually brought, this is an idea that I know Mets fans are going to strongly disagree with me on then because of just the expectation. I would lose as much as games as possible.
Oh, don't do the tank thing. Come on.
So being 500 mean mediocre is the worst position to be in.
In every other sport but baseball, you can find gems in the draft everywhere.
But don't you have to start somewhere?
I guess.
Well, would you rather, as a New York team, be the worst team in the league or be 500?
I'd rather be the worst team in the league. I'm sorry. You rather in any sport, you're better being really good or really bad. Being mediocre every single year is the worst thing.
But
you don't go anywhere.
Should you root for it though?
Well, they lose anyway. Might as well.
We saw how June went.
All right. I mean, I saw.
Might as well enjoy it.
Yeah. Hey, listen. They're putting Jeff Brigham out there. I mean, come on. That's not tanking. Come on. Jeff Brigham, Dominic Leone.
I got to be honest with you. I think it's the best they got.
Next year they're gonna be like flipping pizza the very next year. Let's be honest. These guys stink. I've never seen these guys before. We're probably never seeing these guys again. I'm telling you, before this year started, we're like, are these guys even alive? I mean, like, I didn't know they even exist.
Yeah, our bullpen is really riddled of NPCs. Like, it's crazy. Like, who are these people, bro?
I know.
What's an NPC?
Oh, man.
Am I the old guy in the room who doesn't know what this is? What does that mean? Someone catch me up. What does this mean?
Well, for Ornberger and anybody else listening that don't know, it's a non-player character. Like, them random characters you see in video games, it's like, yo, it's just walking around.
Oh, like the people walking around. Okay, all right, I got it. I didn't know they had a name.
That's the Mets bullpen.
I just call them randoms. I didn't know they had a name. Wow,
that works too. But it's just a bunch of guys walking around the bullpen like, all right, you're coming in. Who's like Josh Walker? What? Who are you?
This is hilarious.
John Smith over here.
Fam, Jeff Brigham looks like he's the definition of an NPC, bro. Like, he just shows up and does not show out at all. Like, he's just opposite of showing out.
We saw him just go out and hit the Philly players and just lose the game.
Like, he was trying to hit.
Yeah. Like, come on.
Like, he I guess he was in trouble with his bookie. He was just like, yo, I gotta tank this game.
In trouble with his bookie. Yeah, I you know what? I want his bookie, so I know what to bet this time. Because if he's in cahoots, I want in.
Okay, that's one way to make sense of how the Mets season's gone. Like, maybe they just all pay the bookie and they're tanking games. I don't know.
Is this the Black Sox scandal all over again? Is this it? Is this 1917?
I'm not trying to put the spotlight on them. I'm just saying, like, look into the Mets.
Is it 1917? I don't remember when that happened. It's a long time.
Yeah. You weren't alive back then?
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for that.
No, you know what? That felt nice to get off because usually they give me the old jokes.
You get the old jokes?
Yeah, I get the old jokes.
How old are you?
Yo, I'm 25.
All right, you're getting there.
Damn.
No love. I get no love around here. It's all good, though. The Mets, though, they did salvage the last 2 games of the series with the help of their pitching. So you had Justin, for once, right? Yeah, Justin Verlander go 7 innings pitched, no earned runs allowed. He lowered his ERA to 3.66. And if you just look at that, it's like, okay, Verlander's having an okay season.
He had 3 bad starts.
Yeah. But it's the consistency you want from a former Cy Young winner and a champion. So that's frustrating, but he did pitch well on Saturday, and what helped the Mets was the home run ball. So you had Francisco Alvarez, Brandon Nimmo, Francisco Lindor, all in the 3rd inning, hit solo shots. That was enough. That was the difference. Mets won Saturday 4-1.
Nimmo's been on something recently.
I don't know how.
He's been in some bombs.
For real. And I don't know how, and we'll get to this later in the show, but I don't know how he's not an all-star.
Nimmo?
Not an all-star, not named a reserve, nothing. Insane. I don't get that.
I have to look at the standings. I got to look at the stat. I got to look at the stat leaders again. But I agree. I mean, he's been the best. I think the problem is he's been probably the best hitter on one of the worst teams in baseball. So that doesn't get you votes. It just doesn't get you votes. And as long as the All-Star game is going to include a fan vote, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. For one thing, with the fan vote that you brought up, the Braves just completely dominated it. Like. Orlando Arcia.
I didn't know they represented like that.
Orlando Arcia is the starting shortstop. Come on.
Disgusting. But yeah, Braves fans is everywhere down south, bro. I don't get it.
I really didn't know that.
Yeah,
Jalen Green's trending on Google.
I thought down south in like Eastern was more like Cardinals country. I always thought it was like St. Louis. And I thought like down south and obviously west was Houston Astros. But I didn't know the Braves represented like that at all.
Yeah, it's a lot of psycho Braves fans out there. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, they're crazy.
They are.
They have fire uniforms. For the record, they have really nice uniforms.
They're all right.
The Rangers took over the All-Star game.
They did.
Like Corey Seager, Josh Young, Marcus Semien, Jonah Heim. Wow. The entire infield basically, except Yandy Diaz.
I didn't know I thought Rangers fans were more fair weather. Honestly, I'm surprised by that.
Yeah, I mean, the only time I ever met a Rangers fan was during that time where they had like Nelson Cruz and Josh Hamilton and
the golden days.
Yeah, that's the only time I ever ran into Rangers fans. So yeah, I haven't heard from a Rangers. I mean, if they're popping up again, then you know what? They are fair weather.
They are exactly.
They are fair weather.
When they're up,
they're up.
And
it's like Cowboys fans in New York.
Okay.
I don't hear much right now, do I? All right, I'm done.
From the top rope. Devin right next to him. We respect it.
I'm sorry.
Any comeback, Devin? No?
No.
You're going to let it slide. All right.
You're the House Celtics fan, too, aren't you?
Yeah. But I mean, I was looking at the reserves.
No. On the contrary, this is not okay as a Knicks fan. It's a no.
Oh, what are you about to say?
No, I was rooting for them this season. I was up there for 4 years. I'm not going to root for a team. I was rooting for the Bruins this year after the Devils got knocked out. Actually, vice versa. Never mind. But you get the point. Like, if there's nothing else to watch, that's what's there to watch.
I guess.
That's it.
I guess. I'll let it slide just because you.
I didn't do it with the Red Sox.
The Red Sox would be crazy. That's next level.
That would be too much.
That's a bit much.
Boston's a hockey and basketball town. Like in that order: hockey, basketball, Patriots, and then
Red Sox.
And then Red Sox.
And your brother did play for the Patriots, right?
Yeah, once upon a time ago.
Okay, I can understand it now.
That's the other thing. It's like I have.
It's like you might know him, Tom Brady.
I met my wife in Boston. My brother played in Boston. Okay. Like I have Boston attachments. I get it out. All right. Anyway, go ahead.
So I'm gonna let you slide for all those reasons. Those are very good reasons.
Well, I was looking at the reserves for the National League for outfield, and it's Lori Gurriel for Arizona, who's doing amazing this year.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all.
Nicholas Castellanos and Juan Soto. So I don't know how you get Nimmo into there, but I mean, I think the only guy you get Nimmo into there for is Castellanos, really.
Yeah. I mean,
And,
even as a reserve, though, come on.
Gurriel's been doing amazing this year. He's been incredible.
That's a fact.
He's hurt though, right?
Don't know. I know he had like he had something, but I don't know. I don't know if they put him on IR. I don't know yet. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, Soto bothers me a little bit because the Padres. No offense, but they suck. They're awful.
Yo, they are bad. The Mets being trash has taken a lot of heat off the Padres because they had the same championship level expectations.
Mm-hmm. I read a tweet somewhere. They said it's not a team. It's not a team. It's a baseball card collection because the fact that collection of guys couldn't get it together for a season is insane. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They are 8 under 500 right now. They are terrible.
We have the same record.
Dog water.
Oh, wow. We have the exact same record. The exact same record.
I got a lot of heat off the Padres, and you know why? Because
we're New York.
And they're San Diego. Like, hey, dude, want to see a Padres game? Yeah, totally. That's what it is.
Bro, do you want to go to the Padres game? Oh, dude, but there's a killer swell going on right now. So we should totally rip those tides, bro. That's what's going on.
That's exactly what it is. Like, come on.
I don't know how we have the same record when you have Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis, and Juan Soto.
You could actually argue that the Padres have been the biggest disappointment in the league, even more than the Mets.
100%. 100%.
Because they have a lot of the stars. They have Soto, Machado, Tatis, and he came back from that steroids thing. And then you have Blake Snell, who's pitched great. I mean, so
Musgrave? Is it Musgrave or Grove? It's Musgrove. Son of a gun, I always get that wrong.
Shiny
Darvish. Like, I don't know how this team's not performing.
Yeah,
I really don't.
All the names. It's a baseball card collection.
They're
it's
an all-star team.
They're
like an all-star team from like 3-4 years ago.
Very true.
Yeah, it's interesting that you bring up the Padres in comparison to the Mets and the slander they get, because if you really look at it, the Mets, they have the highest payroll in history, but attach some context to that. Like, it's 2 40-year-old pitchers, short-term deals. Like, it's not like they're just throwing money blindly. Like,
it's also the way you're built too. Like the Padres, the lineup is potentially better than the Mets lineup.
It's better.
It's better.
Not potentially. It is better.
It's better. And then on top of it, you look at the bullpen that they have. Josh Hader they have, and. Yeah. And Robertson's been very good, but Josh Hader's there. You have 2 other guys that are halfway decent in that bullpen. When you look at the Mets bullpen, it's Long Eyes Jeff Brigham. You have you have Drew Smith, can't stand his face.
Dominic Leone,
who will probably serve some pizza. And then that's about it. And Robertson's okay.
I like Robertson.
I like him. Yeah. And Ottavino, Mr. Hang Slider, yeah. By the way, he tried to give that game away yesterday.
I love your takes. I love the things you say.
Yeah, Ross keeps it real, bro. Ross keeps it definitely real.
I keep that. Jeez, I loved everything I just He might serve pizza someday.
Hey, respect to the pizza spinners. Especially out here.
A lot of respect. A lot of respect.
Long Island pizza is different.
I just don't want them, pitching or hitting on my baseball team.
That's a fact.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I'm looking forward to seeing how we do against the Padres again on the road in the upcoming.
Yeah.
We got the same record, see where it goes. We got the Diamondbacks before them, which is going to be a little bit tough because they've been really good this year.
That's an interesting road trip. I mean, I think it's, me personally, I think it's all over and done with for the Mets, but say they go and it's not going to happen, but
we
say
take
they go
one game?
Say they go 5-2 on this road trip. It's going to be some people that's like, the
6-game road trip.
Ooh, the pitching's back.
Yep.
Oh, it's a 6-game road trip. 5-1. Say they go 5-1. The pitching's back. Ooh.
You know what
Verlander, Scherzer. Watch out for the Mets.
That's what I'm saying is both these guys know they need to improve those ERAs and those win columns before they hit free agency inevitably again. I'm not sure if they're going to retire. They might not, or they might be just journeymen.
If we go 5-1 in this series, we still have a losing record.
Yeah.
What
are you going to do?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that June swoon hit different this year. June swoon.
It's like 2018.
Yeah. This was even worse, though.
The record in 2018 was worse than this, actually.
In June.
Did we win a series?
Yeah, in June.
Yeah, it was the Mets in 2018 were 5-21 in 2018. This year they were 7-19.
How do you remember that?
Because June fell apart. I remember that. They had a great...
But the record? How do you remember that?
It's Gary Cohen.
5 years ago?
He is an absolute savant when it comes to this stuff.
He's the GOAT.
He's the man. Give me some.
He's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT. He is the GOAT. Period. End of story.
Well, Ross did bring up Sunday's game. The Mets did win 8-4. Pete Alonso's 2-run home run in the 8th inning. Tank job just crushed it. Put the game away. Good insurance runs. Like I said, first series win since they swept the Phillies from May 3rd to June 1st. Now, I haven't been on a lot lately, so I haven't really gotten a chance to give my extended thoughts on.
Oh, I'm so excited for this.
Those Cohen, Eppler, Buck, emergency, we suck press conferences last week, but let me get into it. Yeah, I have some audio to play. Before I do, 516-572-7440. If you want to chime in after you hear what you hear, it's definitely understandable, number one. And number two, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to talk to you. Here's Steve Cohen on, what day was it? Was it Tuesday or Wednesday? I feel like
Ross,
it
what was it? We did the show together.
It was like last week.
It was last week. I think it was Wednesday.
So
yeah, last week.
I think it was Wednesday.
Yeah, it was Wednesday. Yep.
Yeah.
Here's what this guy, and he tweeted he was going to have a press conference. Here's what this guy decided to say to the fans.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's been incredibly frustrating. I watch every game. I see what's going on. I mean, if you ask me, would I have expected us to be in this position at the beginning of the season, the answer is no. But here we are, and, hopefully we can right the ship. And listen, we have quality players. For some reason or another, they're not gelling. When we pitch well, we don't hit. When we hit, we don't pitch well. It's kind of weird. I mean, it's actually very strange to me. And I don't know if the players are anxious. I don't know if they're pressing. I mean, I assume that that's a little bit of that. We see a lot of mental errors, that what I call enforced errors. Obviously we can clean that up. We've lost games because of it, and there's nobody to blame, and it's really across the whole team.
So,
give everyone on the roster a mental break right now at the same time. Just bench everyone.
Let's just forfeit this next week.
Where do I start, man? Where do I start? It's just like, it's funny because we call Steve Cohen the richest Mets fan in history, because it's like he's running the team as a fan. That's a fan talking. That's literally what we've been saying on this show for the last 2-3 months.
Yeah.
Yo, when we hit, we can't pitch. When we pitch, they can't hit.
We've known this.
Yeah, we see a lot of mental errors. We've talked about that all season long. Alvarez is out here dropping pop-ups behind the plate and all that stuff. We've seen Peter
bullpen can't seem to help us out whatsoever.
It's like, as the owner, and I love Steve Cohen because I barely blame this on him, really, but we as Mets fans wanted to hear like accountability, bro. Like, oh yeah, they're pressing on its anxiety, and Vogelback needed a mental day, and Francisco Lindor got his haircut. Took him a while to adjust. You know what I mean? Like, we're not trying to hear that.
And like, you can literally quote him saying, "There's nobody to blame." He literally said that.
I know.
I didn't hear anything you guys said. I was too busy playing the world's smallest violin. We've been talking about this for God knows how long, buddy. Get up there like Brian Cashman does. I have my problems with Brian Cashman. Get up there and say, this is our fault. We need to take responsibility. We need to, take a look at what the trade deadline gives us, and just say like, hey, this isn't going the way we thought it would, and it's on us, and it's on the players, and there will be repercussions, and that's what you do. He's not acting like, you're right, he's not acting like an owner, he's acting like a fan, and he has to stop being a fan and start realizing, hey, it's your money, bro. So either spend it more wisely or demand more for it, because it's not happening under your regime, so to speak, so far.
And you speaking about Cohen not really sounding like an owner?
He doesn't sound.
I have some Eppler audio too, because this guy never sounds like a GM. Like it's crazy how incompetent he sounds every time he opens his mouth. Here's Billy Eppler on that same day talking about what's gone wrong with the Mets this year, and Buck Showalter specifically.
What is your evaluation of the job Buck has done? Buck's had a good amount of adversity kind of heaped his way, and I think it started in spring training with the loss of Diaz. And, losing some of the pitchers for a time being, Justin being out at the start of the year, Max, his suspension and kind of the irregular workload. And so,
why y'all announce all these emergency press conferences?
Free falling. Yeah.
Exactly.
Why is everybody protecting each other? I would love to see someone throw someone under the bus. Let's go.
Fam, I get it's upstanding. You want to stick up for your manager who y'all hired and stuff, but you're bringing up every excuse under the sun.
Like,
Diaz getting hurt, what does it have to do with his managerial decisions during the season?
You're a manager for a team. No matter injuries, no matter what, you're supposed to take these guys that were given to you. You take these guys and you put something to use. You use these guys that were given to you and you use them. Wow, he has been so terrible with bullpen decisions. Buck has never done a good decision this year.
It's been bad.
Even Roberts, even the game against the Giants, it's one of the examples, but Robertson pitched in the 8th inning. He's used to the 9th inning. Don't pitch him in the 8th.
Right.
So, and you saw yesterday when he did pitch the 9th inning, he was actually very good. So, there's a comfort level there that, let's put these guys in the best positions. And and I know it's Robertson, he's a veteran, but there's also a comfort level with every guy. And
when he's your only good guy, we got to use him.
Well, but you see, that also falls on Eppler as well, because he did not build that pen well at all. That bullpen's a joke.
That bullpen is garbage. And the other thing is, there's a reason that we talk about Torrey and Francona and Bruce Bochy and all these great managers over the last 20, 25 years, is because despite what happened during their seasons, they put guys in positions that they do succeed in. And Buck's just not doing that anymore.
Nope.
And quite frankly, I hate to say it, he never really did it in Baltimore either. He helped to build a decent team, but he never really did it in Baltimore either. So I don't know why this is such a heavily lauded guy and why Mets fans were so keen on his hiring.
I was also even when he was first.
By the way, I do appreciate his gut style, go against the books every now and then. Yeah. But you got to be right. You got to be right. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no. When he was first hired, I looked at him as kind of like a bridge hire. I never looked at him as a guy that was he's going to lead this team to a championship. I never felt that way, even when he first got the job.
That's a fact. I remember you saying that last year. Yeah.
Yeah, because I looked at it as everywhere he's gone or when he leaves, most of the time they win. Yep. Most of the time, except the Orioles, but most of the time they win. So, and the reason is because the next guy, for some reason, gets the most out of the player. I don't know what it is. I mean, it seems like Buck's message gets dry. It seems that way because they make constant errors a lot, and it looks like they don't look ready to play right from the jump.
It looks like a team that's checked out.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong, and I know these are mental mistakes. That kind of falls a little bit on the guy in the dugout.
Absolutely, it does.
Yeah, because
that's your job. You got to get guys ready to play and prepared for anything.
I mean, just look at the first inning. They've been outscored by 36 runs. I mean, that is just awful.
And by the way, that's the number one way to field a losing team.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you're down immediately every single day, you're not going to win a lot of games.
Yeah. So that's a big thing. Now, listen, the one thing that and I said this after the season's over. I would clean house. Yeah. I clean house with both.
Absolutely.
I would not keep one and not the other because they're both the problem. I don't like keeping one guy not the other. Just for you want to have the right communication. I'm not a fan of different type of minds, but also you want to have somebody that's known to win. And Buck, unfortunately, he's won one divisional title in series in his career. That's a problem, and that's been on a lot of teams. It's not just one team, and it's like he failed, and this is just Baltimore. No, this includes Texas, Arizona, Baltimore, everywhere he's gone. So that would be a starting point for me. Another thing is, can you get rid of the dead weight on this team? That's a big thing as well. Enough with the veterans. Bring in a guy. First of all, get a manager that's going to play young players. That's number one. And number two, get rid of the old players on this team. Marte, goodbye. Vogelback, goodbye. Very simple. Escobar's gone. That should be the starting point. Now you can move on from some of these veterans, get young guys.
Tommy Pham.
Yeah, and go from there. The way you want to be the Braves, be young. Start young. You may stink for a few years, but you got to start somewhere, and that's the way to do it.
I agree. And Ross is always spot on with the Mets. That's what we're looking at. Until they turn it around, this is going to be the conversation up until the trade deadline. So, yes, that's a story on them. Like we said, they do begin a 6-game road trip starting tomorrow at 4 p.m. I'm sure the guys hosting tomorrow will have that game on during the show. Let's get to the Yankees, though, right now. I'm going to throw it to Jake real quick, but I just want to get these points off to recap the weekend. So, I mean, Luis Severino, the definition of inconsistency.
Oh, boy. I thought he was going to be good.
Everyone did.
Contract year. He's screwing it up.
9 runs given up against the Cardinals after he was amazing against Texas in his last start.
How does that even make sense?
Yeah,
like, how do you, one of the best teams in the league, you totally shut them down, and then you play the Cardinals and you let them not, like, 9 runs?
At what point do you send him down?
Exactly.
How terribly he's been doing.
He clearly needs, like, a mental wake-up call or something. 9 runs to the Cardinals is, like, it is so beyond crazy.
Like, we're going to see how Cortez does coming back from the injury and see if he has any change from how he was doing before the injury, because if he doesn't have any change, he's going to continue to do terrible.
Him too. I mean, he needs to step it up. Rodon, I think he's the 7th he's going to start.
Yeah,
but
I think so.
That's going to be huge.
There's something about that Texas Heat, though. So anybody who's getting too hype on that Texas game, like, he's a hurler. So when you get in that Texas Heat, that ball moves, boy. So I don't take that win all that seriously. He's in Texas Heat, just absolutely hurling the ball, because that's what he does. He's a fastball slider pitcher. I mean, playing in that stadium is the perfect place for him. So it's no wonder why he got blown up by the Cardinals.
The Yankees did win Saturday, and the bullpen, like we said, has been spectacular all season long. But I want to really talk about yesterday, because former Yankee, old friend Jordan Montgomery, obviously that was the big trade last year. During the trade deadline, you had Montgomery go for Harrison Bader. Harrison Bader is hurt a lot, and Jordan Montgomery's been all right as a Cardinal, but he definitely gave it to the Yankees yesterday. He was phenomenal.
He literally turns into Cy Young every time he plays the Yankees. It's so frustrating. It's like, dude, you were you weren't so bad for us, but you were mid. You were like mid. The definition of mid. And then now you just want to say F you to us, I guess. It's crazy.
Yeah. I don't pay too much attention to that. I try not to, because if you sucked here, you probably would have continued sucking here. So let's move on. Like, I don't take that personally when someone like comes back and they have a grudge and they want to pitch well against whatever. I get that. What bothers me is the fact that we are still leaning on this lineup that has the excuse, well, Judge isn't there. And it's like, I'm tired of that. We have been 8 games or 7 games or 6 or 5 in that range above 500. This is unacceptable for the amount of money we are paying for this payroll. And the only reason I care about the payroll is because the Steinbrenners do. So I'm tired of this lineup having this excuse like, oh, Judge isn't here, so they don't have the protection. Figure it out.
Like, nobody on this team is hitting well.
Nobody.
Not a single
Our
guy.
most consistent hitter, I said it 2 weeks ago, and it still is DJ LeMahieu. It's still him.
It's bad.
When that's your best hitter, like, what the hell is going on?
Man, listen, I think they still have the lowest on-base percentage in baseball. That ain't good.
It's a joke. It's not. You can't win anything with that. I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's just so stupid. Like you can't. You're not winning a thing with numbers like that.
And Nick brought up the fact that Montgomery, if he was still a Yankee, he probably still would have sucked.
Yeah.
It just goes to show, like,
pressure.
Add him to the long list of guys that, once they leave the Yankees and leave that New York pressure, Aaron Hicks, you got Joey Gallo, and now you can add Monty to the list too. Crazy.
Yeah.
The second they leave New York, they remember how to play baseball again.
Sonny Gray.
Too.
I don't even know if this Rondon addition to this rotation is going to be changing anything, because he's gonna allow very few runs, but are the Yankees gonna score enough runs to be able to even get the win? Like, it's just they can't. Like all these scores, the Yankees scored 6 runs, 1 run, 4 runs.
Yeah.
And you need more than that if your starting rotation is gonna get you that spot.
I will say this though, it is nice to be essentially getting a free agent in the middle of the season. It is nice, but I agree with you. I unless Judge is coming back post All-Star break, which I'm not convinced of. And by the way, the idea that he's going to the All-Star game is bananas to me.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. He should not be in the All-Star game.
So
he has
stupid.
played a quarter of a season through half the season. He's not an All-Star. Sorry. I don't care if you're the biggest face in baseball. You don't belong there. You don't belong there.
Yeah, go ahead and rest that toe, bro. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I wonder how good even Rodon's going to be when he does come back. He hasn't pitched in a long time.
He's going to have to work his way back.
He's going to have to work it through. Yeah, he's going to have to work it. Yeah.
But you know what the Yankees front office is going to say? Oh, that's our big trade acquisition. Carlos Rodon. Right. We don't have to do anything else.
I swear to God, that better not be their excuse, because if they don't trade for a big swing and
they didn't even trade for Rodon. They signed him.
Exactly.
So
you know what I'm saying?
No trades.
They're going to act like that's their trade. If they don't trade for an absolute get me some left-handed juggernaut in there. Get me a hurler in the back end of the bullpen. Let's get something going, because whatever's happening is not working. It's not working. We're 6 games behind the Blue. What is it? The Blue Jays. Right?
The Orioles.
I said the Blue Jays. Were crying out loud.
And they play the Orioles for 4 straight games.
Such a big series.
This is such an important series. We can't screw this up.
And the Orioles have been really struggling lately too. So
this is like do or die time. We're 5-5 in our last 10.
I saw
and we played 2 of the worst teams in the league.
Yeah.
It's absurd.
That'd be cool.
I hate this team.
Hey,
Yankees above 500.
Don't worry, Yankees fans.
I'm not allowed to say that because it's past June.
Don't worry.
Hate this team.
Don't worry, Nick. Don't worry, Jake. You got Domingo Germán on the mound today. He's his first start since that perfect game in Oakland.
10 runs over 2 innings. You know he's gonna blow up. There's no chance he's a good game.
I'm gonna say
it's been going.
I'm gonna say
exactly
4 shutout, and they let him out. I'm kidding. I don't know. I have no idea.
Hey man, that's the New York baseball locally hasn't been consistent, but our takes on them have been. It's just the same narrative until one or both of these teams shakes it. This is what the talk's going to be. I don't think the Yankees are good enough as presently constructed, and the Mets are the Mets.
Someone's going to change something.
Yeah, trade deadline, I want to see significant, substantial changes.
We'll keep talking crap about you until you do something about it.
Exactly.
I'm going to say one more thing before we go to break. I just want to say one more thing. Mets fans in the room.
Yes.
Do we believe that you'd be happy if you heard that Francisco Lindor or one other big name possibly got traded before the trade deadline? Would you be happy about it? Because that's a signal that the season's over. The season's over. We're done. Would you be happy, or would you be upset?
If we got a Godfather offer for Francisco Lindor, I ain't gonna lie.
You'd be fine with it?
Yeah, you get him. He could go.
Yeah.
Get off the money, that's what it is.
Yeah.
In 220 for $34 million. Get out of here.
Oh, man. Well, we are going to take a timeout from the baseball talk, and we're going to get to NBA free agency talk after the break.
Woo!
But back in 30 seconds on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
This portion of programming on 90.3 WHPC is brought to you by the Center for Workforce Development at Nassau Community College, where you can earn a certification in mental health first aid for older adults. Students are taught a 5-step action plan to identify and help people coping with mental health or substance use problems. The adult certification course will be held on campus on Saturday, July 15th. More information about this course is available at ncc.edu/workforce development.
We are back on Sports Talk on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Joshua Umahi joined by Jake Boyko, Devin O'Shea, Nick Ornberger, and Ross Levine. As customary, 516-572-7440. You can call us up. You can text us up at 516-905-WHPC. 905-9472. I'm going to look at those texts. I hope you ain't been wilding in there. But speaking of wilding, Josh Hart.
I've never been inclined to taste breast milk. I like breast. You don't have to be a baby to like breast.
How much breast milk can you buy with $12.9 million? Because that's what he opted into, that player option on Thursday evening. Now, that move is significant because it opened up more flexibility and cap space for the Knicks this summer. That immediately led to White Dante. My guy. Dante DiVincenzo, former Villanova teammate of Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart, agreed with the Knicks to a 4-year, $50 million deal.
I love the deal.
I love it too.
I love everything about everything that just happened.
Yeah, you look at Dylan Brooks' deal, and then you look at Dante DiVincenzo's deal.
Let's be real.
Steal and a half.
Let's be real. 4 for 50, and Dylan Brooks got 4 for 80. I don't know who he got pictures on in the Rockets organization, but $20 million for Dylan Brooks. What? How did that make sense?
I mean, you gotta understand that these caps keep going up and up and up, and after the next play, I mean, it's not going to mean anything in a couple years.
Like he was looking for $12 million a year.
Yeah,
got 20,
bro. Like, and
how does that even happen?
And we got quickly saying no to 4
How did
for 80.
Timofey Mozgov a few years ago get that 4-year, $60 million deal? You remember that?
Disgusting to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
That's gross, yo.
Nah, you know what? What's really crazy to think about is Dylan Brooks is getting, what is it, like 4 years for $80 million or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Westbrook's getting $8 million for like 2 years, bro.
That's smart on his. By the way, that's smart on his part.
It's just so sad. Like, how is that even? How did that
They could
happen?
have offered him. No, I'm pretty sure that's because he was during the season he was cut. So I think that's the most he was being able to offer.
has to be.
But
Yeah, and he did want to stay in LA. I know that. So
he wants to stay in LA and he wants to stay with the Clippers, and he's still with George. He's still with Kawhi, and he's and now he's with who did you just pick up?
They might get Harden.
They might get Harden. That's what not pick up. That's who they're targeting right now. A reunion here.
A reunion. Yeah.
I don't know that I hate that because that is 4 guys that 5 years ago you would have said that is the most elite team ever assembled. Period.
Yeah, they just got to stay healthy. I mean, that's the Clippers
That's
issue.
the thing.
like
That's
if they
the
get
huge
Harden, you look at that roster: Westbrook, Harden, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard.
Who's their center?
Wow.
Who would be their center right now?
Zubac.
Yeah.
Zubac. Yeah. Is it Zubac or Zubac? I don't care. I don't care. I'm kidding.
Well,
I love the Josh Hart deal.
Yeah.
For the record, he's it's what do you call it? Cliche to say he's the heart of the team. No, he comes out hard in big moments. So I really love that deal. The fact that he opted in, I wonder how many Knicks stock options or SMY stock options he got to take that deal. But having said that, opted in. And
he only got the finest of breast milks, bro. That's why he opted in.
Only I can't do that bit. I can't do that bit. It makes me laugh every time.
I drink the finest breast milks. So
You don't have to be a baby to like breasts.
So we all like the DiVincenzo signing. Here's a deal I don't like. Here's a deal I don't like. The Knicks traded Obi Toppin also on Saturday afternoon. They traded him to the Indiana Pacers for a return of 2 second-round picks. In what you can call a polarizing move among the fans. So
Larry Bird got a steal.
Yep.
You got to.
Can I just say, use him or lose him. The Knicks have had this guy, and they have not given him the minutes that he needs to be an all-star, because that's what I believe he can be.
Facts.
So if you were not going to use him, you might as well trade him. I know I've taken a hard left turn on this, but if you weren't going to use him, get rid of him. Get something for him, because everybody else in the league sees what this guy can be. And I'm telling you right now, he's going to be an absolute animal for them.
And you know what? It's funny because if you remember back to when he was drafted, and I see a lot of people blaming Leon Rose for this, Obi Toppin was drafted with the idea that Randall, coming off a down first year with the Knicks, was going to be a trade chip for somebody. They were going to trade him, and then Obi was going to be the replacement.
Successor.
Nobody saw that Randall All-NBA season coming 2 years ago. 3 years ago now. Nobody saw that coming, and that really messed things up for Obi and Leon Rose's plan. And now look at it. He's only traded for 2 second-round picks.
Yo, Leon really might be like the biggest troll in the NBA. How do you sign Obi's brother and then 2 days later just say, all right, Obi, you're gone. Get out of here. Have a good one.
And by the way, Jacob Toppin, all of a sudden he has a minor injury. He can't play. Yeah. A minor injury. It's just happenstance. You know what I mean?
I mean, ever since what's it called? Josh's burner Twitter account posted that Obi Toppin a clip of him going off on Tom Thibodeau. I knew he was out of New York ever since that day.
Oh man, listen.
We know it was you, Josh.
God's work. Shout out Obi.
God's plan.
He got a great opportunity in Indiana, even though I hate to see him go. More talk about the Knicks with James Harden. Initially, when he demanded a trade from the Sixers, he did that opt-in and demand. The Knicks were in discussions and reports with the Clippers, but now it looks like after reports last night that the Knicks are not aggressively pursuing either Harden or Damian Lillard, who we're going to get to.
Thank God.
But the team did look into acquiring Paul George, but even now that the Knicks, according to Ian Begley, they seem likely to enter next season with the 2022-2023 roster mostly intact. So, that being said, How are we feeling about the offseason so far? How are we feeling about Leon Rose and everything that's taken place? Really, the only move that we've seen is DiVincenzo and the trade of Obi.
I think that's all you really need to do, though, this offseason. There's no need to get that big star right now. I've talked about it before, but the whole thing with Donovan Mitchell, he'll be here next year, the year after. It's just there's no reason to get rid of all this young talent that is like clearly right in front of us, getting better and better every year. It just, I've said it all along. You might as well just wait for Donovan to become available, and just honestly, this free agency has been pretty perfect. You got Dante. He's played with Hart. He's played with Brunson. Let's just chill after that. We're good.
Versatile guy, jack of all trades, just like Josh Hart. So it's a nice piece to have on your team. He's the type of player you need on a title team. I know he was hurt when the Bucks made their run, but I'm sure the Bucks would have loved to have him during that run because he does everything. He hits the three. He can rebound. He can get steals. He can defend the best guard or wing on the floor. So good move from that standpoint.
Mikal.
Hey, Mikal, come on.
That would be so crazy.
I don't think the Nets make that move because they declined the third pick and Anthony Simons for Mikal. I don't think that there's any deal that the Knicks can make to try to get Mikal.
I would love him in the Garden, though.
The thing is, though, if they did get him, I feel like even with Dante, it's the same thing with like the whole like how Josh Hart was before he came a Knick. He wasn't anywhere near like he was a good player. He was very solid, but everyone was like, all right, like why? Like this is the move we make. Like Josh Hart, like I'm a little confused. But and then obviously he came and he turned into the player that he is now. But you look at Dante, I feel like it's going to be the same situation where, yeah, he's still right now he's a very solid, very good player. But I feel like him playing with his old teammates is going to take him right back up there to that next level, just how Hart did too.
Yeah, you know how cool in Madison Square Garden it would have been to see like a Mikal Bridges doing this.
Oh my God, the vibes would have been immaculate, bro.
Oh yeah,
What are we talking about? Like the Nova Knicks?
Bing bong.
Like what are we talking about? Like that would have been perfect.
Brunson to Bridges every other possession.
Oh man,
I still think
Nova
the Knicks,
jersey we'd see in New York. Oh my God.
I still think the Knicks need to be actively pursuing the idea of losing Randall down the road.
I agree.
But for now, I'm like everything they're doing. They're building another playoff-worthy team that will probably lose to the Heat or the Celtics in the East. But you know,
it's progress.
It's progress. They're better already than they were last year.
They're not winning 20 games a year anymore.
Yeah, well, thank God.
Yeah, we happy for that. Like I know
no paper bags with the heads.
Yeah, I know we're all sensible Knicks fans in here, besides Devin, but Celtics, whatever. But you would be surprised, like how many fans are like, "We're not trading for Lillard. We're not trading for so and so." I'm mad. Knicks not making like, relax. There's a lot of nuance and context you need to know what the Knicks are doing. Because like Jake said, we're going to get Spider Mitchell. He's going to be a Knick. He's always in New York in the summer. He's always posting about it on Instagram. He's clearly sending a message to Cleveland. Yeah. I will not be here when my contract runs out. I will not sign that extension. I'm going to be a Knick like I should have been when the Jazz were trying to trade me. Then you look at it, there's maybe Embiid comes available next couple years. Giannis maybe. Giannis, you know, what's with the Bucks? Luka maybe. They just re-signed Kyrie Irving to a $130 million deal. How's that going to work out?
Not good.
With the history, we see it's not going to work out well. That's my thing with Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic. So,
by the way, I haven't heard.
I like their draft though.
I haven't heard your take. You're happy about Porzingis coming to the Celtics, getting rid of Smart?
I mean, I wasn't thrilled. When it first happened, we were in the studio when Brogdon was traded for Porzingis, and I was super happy about that. But then later that night, it got
the Smart deal.
The Smart deal happened.
I was just curious, yeah.
I hate because Marcus Smart is my favorite player of all time.
Leader, yeah.
Look at my background on my phone. That is Marcus Smart.
Oh my God! I didn't realize you liked them that much.
I love Marcus Smart. He will forever be my favorite Celtic. But it sucks to see him go. But I am super glad because Porzingis, he's younger, and then we got a first-round pick this year, and then we got a first-round pick next year. So like. It sucks to see Marcus Smart go, but it's for the best of the team.
Sorry, that was a hard left. I just needed to know how he felt.
I understand.
Because I thought it was brilliant, all of it. I think the Celtics are going to be so fired.
No, Porzingis is going to be a great Celtic.
I think he's going to be so good and undefendable.
Hey, man.
You're going to deal with Tatum and Brown and Porzingis? Get out of here.
And will the Celtics pursue a Lillard trade, too?
Because I'm getting really concerned about this whole Jaylen Brown thing because I really was expecting this deal to be done by now. Like, I'm really confused on where this deal is going. I heard this morning that they're talking to Portland about getting Lillard. I want to keep this as it is. Like, we just traded Marcus Smart. Let's not trade the other big piece on our team, Jaylen Brown. Let's have Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Porzingis, Robert Williams. Let's keep it. Yeah. Let's keep it, bro. That's great. That's good.
Does anybody in this room think there's a chance that Dame goes to that he goes to the Nets? Because I don't think there's a chance in heck.
Good looks with the segue, Nick. That was perfect. Because let's just get to the Nets right now and Damian Lillard. So on Friday, before we got on, they traded Joe Harris. They got off his insane contract for Joe Harris. So they got that out the way. They re-signed Cam Johnson, what they needed to do. Now we get to Dame Lillard. So on Friday, he finally demanded a trade from Portland. Grind time is over. The Heat were named as the prime suitor as well as Dame's preferred destination, but the Nets were also listed initially as teams listed in pursuit for Damian Lillard, the 7-time All-Star. So I don't know, because now the conversation has turned into, will the Blazers do right by Dame by trading him only to Miami? Or should they be like, we're going to trade him to the team that gives us the most to kick off our rebuild? That's kind of the debate that's going on right now, because now people are trying to say if they don't do right by Dame, players are going to notice that and they're not going to sign there. First off, who the hell was signing in Portland already?
Yeah, like it's Portland.
Nobody was signing in Portland already, so I don't think people really care about that.
You know what I was thinking about this year when I was planning vacations? Oregon. I thought to myself, that's where I want to go, Oregon. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, the Nike factory in Yellowstone Park.
Is that all that's there? Is that it?
I think so. And rain, I don't know. Rainy days, I guess, if you're a fan of that.
And Dame.
And Damian Lillard.
That's it.
And Damian Lillard.
Y'all see that clip of the guy in the what's it called? The drive-through talking about being upset about Damian Lillard. That's so funny. He's like, what are they cooking up? He's like, is there someone behind you? He's like, yeah. He's like, I'll take your order, I guess.
By the way, your total is $8.97.
Let's go Blazers.
Go Blazers. Okay.
Before we move on and get to the end of our show and the topics following, let's run through some of these deals. So it's been some wild money going around the NBA.
Favorite time of the year.
Hey, man.
Let's do it.
The richest free agency deal signed in terms of total money was Jeremy Grant for the Blazers. $160 million for Jeremy Grant. Man, listen, good for you, but that's crazy.
And then Dame requests a trade.
Yeah. Well, at least he got Jeremy paid. Shout out. In terms of average annual value, that would be Fred VanVleet with the Rockets for 3 years, $130. After seeing that Jalen Green video, he might rethink that. But I don't know. We'll see. The Rockets also signed, like we talked about, Dylan Brooks to 4 years, $80 million. He's not in Guangdong. He is a Houston Rocket.
Somehow.
Guangdong Tigers. Max Strus left the Miami Heat for the Cavs. 4 years, $64 million. That's a great move for them.
I like that deal.
Bruce Brown leaves the champion Nuggets for a 2-year, $45 million deal from Indiana.
Got himself a bag.
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad.
Short note on that. So there was a guy on Twitter that said, let me see if I can find the note. He said he would eat a living pig live on YouTube if Bruce Brown got more than $20 million per year. And he's copping pleas now. You better stick to your word, bro.
You better.
Go get that.
You better, because I want to watch it. I'm going to watch it.
Go get that salmonella, bro, like you said.
I'll say this. The first two deals you mentioned, the Grant and VanVleet, means that, hey, we're announcing to you right now that we're not going to be competitive for that amount of time.
Yep.
That's what we're saying.
We just want it to be nice.
We need one name, and we're going to sell that to you for the next 3 and 5 years, respectively, and give us some time.
Yeah, not a lot of W's.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Re-signings, we talked about the free agency signings. Re-signings, we saw Kyrie Irving, like I said, 3 years, $126. Chris Middleton re-ups for 3 years, $102 with Milwaukee, as well as Brook Lopez. Kyle Kuzma joins fellow Michigan man, Jordan Poole for 4 years, $102. Interesting team they have there. Speaking of Jordan Poole and Michigan ties, Draymond Green back to the Warriors for 4 years, $100 million. Austin Reeves back to the Lakers for 4 years, $56 million. Lakers been doing a lot.
They really have.
Impressive.
Unlike some great deals. Like Taurean Prince, that's a great deal, like $4 million. Jackson Hayes, the minimum.
That's crazy.
For 2 years. And then Gabe Vincent off the bench. And then you re-sign everyone that you need to. Rui, Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell. I love what they did.
Absolutely. They really did well this 100%. Offseason. And moving on, let's get to some of these mega big money extensions, because this is crazy. The Grizzlies extended Desmond Bane to 5 years, $207 million. I'm not done, though. I'm not
My
done.
heart just stopped.
The Kings extended Domantas Sabonis to 5 years, $217. By the way, Julius Randle's a better player than Sabonis. He's making 4 years, 117. So
100%. I agree with that.
And
they're the same player, no defense.
That's true. Randle's a little better, though. LaMelo Ball. Shout out Corey David.
Where's Corey?
Corey David, your boy got paid. Tyrese Halliburton with the Pacers. They both signed 5 years, $260 million extensions. By the way, Jalen Brunson makes 4 years, 104.
Yeah, Halliburton.
I just felt the need to point that out. He's a better player than both of them. Just saying. We got him for $20 million per. They paid these guys, what is this, $50 million each?
Jesus, $52 million a year.
That was the end of the CBA. What do you want? You know, you get what you can get.
I ain't mad at people getting their money. But apples to oranges, I don't know. I feel a lot better with the Knicks deals after hearing that.
If I'm Indiana, I'm
when
signing.
When you hear something like that, you're like, oh, life isn't so bad.
Yeah, really.
Exactly. Jalen Brunson, 4 years. People call Brunson an overpay. Imagine that.
If you look at any Knicks deal that was questionable a year ago, a year or two ago, this free agency just blew all that out of the water. Every single deal the Knicks have, they look like steals compared to every single deal that was made the other day.
Absolutely.
You're right. I should be less hard on them, I guess.
a little less hard. Pause.
Screw Dolan. Moving on.
Screw Dolan.
Let's get to the buzzer beaters. Jake Boyko, what you got?
I mean, listen, I kind of have a question for Devin, even though it's more just for Celtics fans in general. So let's say Jaylen Brown doesn't end up re-signing, and let's say obviously Dame is going somewhere. Would that interest you? Like a little, obviously it wouldn't just be a 1-for-1, but Dame for Jaylen Brown, was that something that you would want to do?
I mean, I think it would be like Jaylen Brown and probably Grant Williams in a sign and trade for Dame. And I don't hate it, but as a Celtic fan and a Jaylen Brown enthusiast, I guess. Yeah. I love the dude. And I like Dame. He's older. Jaylen Brown, he's a lot younger. We can sign him to a long deal, but we're shopping him for a guy that's a lot older who's going to try to get us to win now, really, more than in the future.
Very true.
Yeah. So I mean, I'd love to keep Brown, but if we get Lillard, I won't be mad.
It's one of those things where yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah.
All right, those are both of y'all buzzer beaters.
What?
I'm just kidding. Go ahead, Devin. What you got?
You missed the buzzer.
All right. So I watched these guys' podcast quite a bit. It's called Pick a Side, and they basically give a bunch of names and then you rank them. So I'm saying in 8 years, picture this in 8 years, rank these three duos for the best backcourt for the rest of the league: Amen Thompson and Jalen Green, Scoot Henderson and Shaedon Sharpe, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Josh Giddey. In the next 8 years from now, rank those three sets of guards for the best backcourt.
That's a compelling question. I would probably go Shai and Giddey.
That's what I was thinking.
That's a tough one, though. I'll think about that one.
Yeah, I'm thinking Shai Giddey, Scoot, Shaedon, and then Amen Thompson, Jalen Green.
Jalen Green's a wild guy, man. I'm sorry. We got to spend a little time on that. I'll get to my buzzer beater later, though.
He's your buzzer beater?
Yeah, I got to talk about him. Nick, who we got? What we got?
I'm mad that we didn't get. I'm not mad, but I'm upset we didn't get to the gambling suspension news.
Spend some time on that. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just going to give you a little quip here. I am sick and tired of the NFL's pretended caring about rules and regulations when we allow woman beaters and drunks and drunk drivers and all these people to come back in the NFL with 4 and 6 and 8 game suspensions, and Calvin Ridley loses an entire year for gambling, and now we're hearing about all these other guys like Isaiah. Sorry, I am losing my voice as we speak. We're hearing about all these other guys. Yeah. And it's not just Isaiah Rodgers and it's not Rashad Berry, and I'm not saying Demetrius Taylor, not saying any of them didn't do anything wrong. But if we're going to have any consistency in this new gambling age in the NFL, how about we have some consistency for what the consumer's moral values are? And when someone, maybe kicks a woman out of an elevator or out of a hotel room, maybe there's a harsher penalty for that instead of them just letting them go to the Cleveland Browns.
Like Derrick
That's all I'm
Henry's
gonna
backup
say.
did literally the other day. Hassan something, the backup running back for the Titans. He beat his girlfriend or wife because she liked a photo on someone's Instagram. I'm like,
something needs to be done more about these abuse issues.
Yeah.
Rather than these, I don't care. You gambled on your team to win.
Do we think he's going to get suspended this whole year?
Yeah.
Like for a whole year for being? I don't know.
Yeah. It bothers me to my core. And it's like, can we please have some, at least consistency, so I know what I'm rooting for.
Yeah.
You spitting facts. You spitting 100% facts. Ross, that's your buzzer. Go ahead.
I'm going to do a hockey one. The Rangers, we signed Blake Wheeler. That was a nice signing. What I will tell everybody, because we do have Pure Lobby Letters, our new coach, we're not going to be impatient. Let's not be impatient about these signings. Let's not be impatient about the coach. Let's give these guys some time. Let's not run these guys out of town after 2 years constantly, because we've had a lot of head coaches over the last few years. Yeah.
All right, I guess that's my buzzer. You know what? Two quick things. So the WNBA I've been keeping a really good eye on just because the star power in that league is insane right now. It doesn't get a lot of coverage on our show, obviously, but listen, the New York Liberty, don't be surprised if they're the next team to bring a championship to New York. I believe in Brianna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu, Vandersloot. They got a good team. They're first in the East, second best record in the league. We'll see what happens with that. As with Jalen Green, like, bro, come on now. Come on, bro. 2 videos? I don't know which video was worse.
No comment.
No comment?
No comment. No comment.
Hey, man. All I'm going to say is, I'm not going to say anything.
That's what you can say.
I'm going to leave it there.
Not much to say on the situation.
Someone was enjoying it.
Yeah, Google Jalen. Go Google that Jalen Green video if you want. Don't attach none of the backlash to me, though. You did it to yourself. That'll do it for the Monday edition of WHPC Sports Talk. For Jake Boyko, Devin O'Shea, Nick Ornberger, and Ross Levine, this is Joshua Umahi signing off. Thanking you once again for listening to Sports Talk on the Voice of Nassau Community College. 90.3 WHPC. Enjoy the rest of your July 4th weekend.